Are you a complete beginner to Google Calendar? Or maybe you've been using it for a little while, but you want to actually understand what its functionality is and how you can use it to collaborate with the team that you're working with. Whatever the case may be, today I will be showing you how you can use Google Calendar. This is a beginner's Google Calendar tutorial. Let's go. Hi, it's Kelly here. If you're new to my channel, I encourage you to stick around and join the community by hitting the red subscribe button down below so that you can see more videos in the future just like this one. So the only way I can really show you how to use Google Calendar is just to jump straight to my laptop. So before we actually dive into looking at it, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that to actually access Google Calendar, you need to have a Google account. So just make sure that before you start this, you have signed up to a Google account. And then all you need to do is log into your Google account and you'll be able to get to your calendar. They do also have an app version, which is also really handy when you're just out and about on the go. So when you log on to Google, this is the screen that you're going to see, and this is your home screen. And automatically it will bring you to whatever date it is today and show you that week. At the top, it's going to show you the month and the year. And it's also got a little today button. So I'm filming this on Saturday the 27th of March. So if I click today, it's going to take me right to today. Now on the left hand side here, you've got firstly a little calendar view, which is really helpful because it means you can kind of flick through the months, check what day a certain date is, that kind of thing that you always need to know. It's got create here, which is where we're going to come to create our event in just a minute. It's also got search for people. So this is where you would come if you were going to search for some contacts, people in your organization, people you want to meet with. And then here it's got my calendars. And we'll talk about in a minute how you can add other calendars, shared calendars, team calendars, and that kind of thing. But you can have loads of different calendars which actually pop up in your Google Calendar, if that makes sense. We'll talk about it more in a second. And then of course you've got your main part here, which has got the times down the left hand side, and it's got your schedule here for the week with the different appointments and the time that they correspond to. So there are other options in terms of looking at this slightly differently. So you've got this drop down up here, which basically tells you that you're looking at a week view. Now if you wanted to, you could also look at a day view. You could also look at a month view. Or you could also look at a year. And then the other option is a schedule view. So what the schedule view is going to do is it's just going to show you what your main things are over the next few days, and it shows you going down the page rather than looking at an actual calendar view. Other things to know are that you can also toggle weekends off. So if you don't want to look at weekends, say you're doing just a normal 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job, there's no point in you having weekends on there, and you can make your screen bigger by just having 5 days. Then you can take weekends off. You can also choose to either show declined events or to not show them. So once you've said, no, I can't come to a meeting, it can either be completely removed from your calendar straight away, or you can keep it on there. So that's just the basic functions of the home screen that you'll see when you log into Google Calendar. Now let's talk about how you can actually schedule an appointment or a meeting. So scheduling an appointment or meeting is really simple in Google Calendar. There's a couple of ways you can do it. The first way is to just click on the time and date that you want. So let's say I want to put something in here. I literally just click on it and it pops up immediately asking me to put an event in. The other way you can do it is you can click create up here, and then that will just auto create in one of these spaces, and you may have to change the date or time. And then you can also click here to search for people, and this will bring up your contacts and will let you choose someone that you want to meet with. And it's a really quick way to invite guests. So you just type in here the person that you want to meet with or their email address, then you click enter, and that will automatically bring up an event with that person in it that you can create. Okay, so for now I'm going to go create up here, and I'm going to put in the title. So let's say I want a one-to-one meeting with someone, but I don't actually have anyone to meet with. So then you have other options in terms of whether you want it to be an event, a task, a reminder. I'm going to go for an event here. Tasks and reminders are more just for you, that you can add things that you want to make sure that you do, or you can add a little reminder. So I'm going to go event. I want this to be on a different date, so I can just click here, choose the date. So I'm going to say Thursday, and choose the time. So let's just say it's going to be 11:30 to 12:30. You can also choose to have this be an all day event. So if you prefer, you can click all day. This feature is really good if you are maybe going away on a training day or something and you just want to make sure that that's blocked out for the entire day. You can change the time zone. Now Google will automatically have your time zone from your Google account anyway, but just in case it's wrong or you're working with someone in a different time zone, you might need to change that. And then this function, which I use really regularly, is about repeat meetings. Now this is is really, really important, especially if you work within a team and you're trying to set up maybe a daily team meeting that's always at the same time. So there's options here which Google automatically creates for you. So you've got, say, a daily event, so every single day, a weekly on a Thursday, monthly on the first Thursday. So it's up to you. If any of those are what you're looking for, then great. Otherwise, you can do a custom one. So let's say I want to do this every single day on Monday to Friday, so weekdays. So what I could do is, it says repeat every 1 week. I want it to repeat on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday every single week. And you can choose when you want it to end. So let's say you're doing a specific project with the same team, you know it's going to end at the end of June. You would basically just click here and click on, and then at the end of June you'd click here. And what that means is that from the 30th of June, that event is going to fall out of your calendar. So you're not going to have that meeting in your calendar anymore. The other thing you can do is you can do it after a certain number of times. So let's say you want to have 5 daily meetings and then you don't want to have any more, you can change the number there. So I'm just going to say that it is going to end next week. And click done. If you have guests here, what you can do is you can click find a time, and what that's going to do is it's going to bring up your colleague's calendar as well. That lets you basically just look at the two calendars side by side so that you can see when you're both free. You can add a location for the meeting, so if it was an in-person meeting, obviously not that many are at the minute because of COVID, but if it was an in-person meeting, you can add it in there. You can add a description for what you want the meeting to be about. So let's say if you're following up from an email or something, you can write it in there. You can also add an attachment if there's a document that you'd be going through within the meeting. Okay, so this basically just automatically sets to busy at this time. So if you're going to be in a meeting, you're inevitably going to be busy. So it automatically says busy, but you could change it to free if you needed to. And then you've got a visibility options. Now, default visibility generally depends on what you have in your Google settings. It's mostly set to public unless you change it. If you wanted something to be private, say you don't want your colleagues to see the meeting that you're going to, or it's confidential, you would click private here. And what that means is that if someone else looks up your calendar, they will just see busy. They won't see the name of the event, they won't see who's attending it. All they will see is the time and date that it is and that it says busy. Okay, and then the last thing is just around notifications. So it's really up to you what you prefer in terms of notifications. Personally, I always turn them off because I find them really annoying. And I always kind of have my calendar up on my second screen throughout the day so I can see when my meetings are. But I know a lot of people sometimes forget themselves and then miss meetings, so you can have notifications that pop up right before meetings. They give you all of the standard options here, but you can choose something custom if you want to. Now, the only thing I did forget to mention is that you can actually change the color of these. So as you can see here, I've got loads of different colors. You can change the colors of the events if you want to color code them. So if you just click on it and you can edit it. And here, if you come down, you can change the color of the event. So let me say I want to do it as orange. I can click save. Now, when you edit any kind of an event, you do get a pop-up that says this. So because I set this up to happen weekly on weekdays until a certain date, you have the option to choose to change just that event, so just that day, or you can change all of the diary invites going forward. So when this might be important is, let's say you have a daily huddle that happens at the same time every single day. But maybe on one specific day, you know that everyone is going to be at a training session, so you've got to move the time, but just for that one day. What you do in that case is you click on that specific day, click edit it, and then just click this event. So make sure that this event is the thing that is clicked. So let's say I just want to change this event. You can see that it has changed the color. An even quicker way to change the color, if you don't need to edit anything but the color, is you can literally right click on the event and you can change anything here, or you can have a really quick delete of the event if you need to. Now, if you're working as part of a team, one of the really great features on Google Calendar is that you can set up team calendars. And this basically means that you have a calendar that you can all see, so that you can see when everyone is in other meetings, when these team meetings are happening, when important meetings are happening, and that kind of thing. So the way to set up a team calendar is that you come down here to other calendars and you click the plus button. Then you're going to go to create new calendar. Okay, so I'm just going to call my calendar team calendar. Not very exciting. And all the other details are fine. I do want to add a description, but you could do if you wanted to. And then I'm going to click create new calendar. Okay, so now that my calendar is created, I can click down here and click team calendar to edit the settings of it. So the next step in this would be to add your team members. So you just go down here to the 3 dots, click click settings and sharing, and then down on this page, I'm not going to scroll down just because you'll see my personal email address if I do, but down at the bottom there is a sharing bit, and then you just type in everyone's email addresses. It will send them an email prompt to add this calendar to their Google Calendar, if that makes sense. So what that means is, let's say I have someone called Joe and I want to add them. I type their email address in to share it with them. So what that means is that when they go to their emails and accept your invite to that calendar, when they come to their Google Calendar, under My Calendars, the section on the left hand side, they will see Team Calendar as well. So then how do you actually add meetings and invites to the Team Calendar? Well, the way to do this is just to create an event or take an event that already exists, and then you're going to share it with that calendar. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I actually click Team Calendar off at the minute, so this will either show it on the calendar or not, and again, I'll show you that in a second. But let's say these meetings are with the whole team, so I want to make sure they can see them. If I left click on it, I get a little brief summary of it. I click on the 3 dots and then I click copy to Team Calendar. Just check that you're happy with all the details and that you're sharing the same details with the team that you want to, and then click save. Now what this has done is it's got my Team Calendar toggled on. I can see duplicates because I can see both of them, and then I can either turn that off or on. So that basically just allows you to see meetings that your whole team is in. And if you guys have any questions about Team Calendars or anything else covered in this video, please make sure you put it in the comment section down below. I really hope this video has been helpful. Please make sure that you subscribe and check out some of my other videos so you can see more things like this now and in the future. And make sure you let me know in the comments if there's any other Google features you'd like me to talk about. And I will see you all in the next one.